Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Today is Monday, June 2nd, the first trading day of June. Can you believe it? We're already in June. The markets have kind of shrugged at the escalating tensions between the US and China. They kind of don't believe the saber rattling that's going on. We also had some geopolitical events happen with Ukraine's special operation inside Russia. But the market doesn't seem spooked at all. It's kind of used to it at this point. The Nasdaq was up 0.71%. The S&P was up 0.41%. Dow Jones was flat. Russell was up 0.31%. The 10-year, the U.S. Treasury is up 1%, and the VIX is down 1%. So pretty flat all around. If we're looking at some of the names that we talk about on this channel, you basically have Tempest up 15%. Remember when I went over that short report and told you guys I wouldn't put too much weight on it. That being said, it was overextended valuation wise. Today it is up 15% after the retreat that it experienced last week. Gold is close to 3,400. It is very likely that gold may hit 4,000 this year. And we have silver up in a big way today. I saw on our PIF Discord community people asking about investing in silver, and that's for good reason. We'll talk about that in a second. Bitcoin's at just shy of 105, and Doge is below 20 cents a token. But I honestly am really excited about the times ahead and what lies before us. I am extremely optimistic about some of the positions that we talk about on this channel. If we're looking at Bitcoin, for example, we did get the M2 update from the money supply update from the Fed. Does seem like liquidity is rising, M2 is rising, and there's a strong correlation. That's what you see in yellow, the liquidity that is. And there's a strong correlation between that and the Bitcoin price. And so I do think that Bitcoin's price is supported by liquidity levels. We're probably not going to see a sharp pullback in the price of Bitcoin that is sustained. That is, obviously, you could get a pullback that is induced um, by people getting margin called. Obviously, there's a lot of leverage in the system, but that will be very short lived. And what's really exciting this month is that there should be a lot of updates from Tesla. We did get something noteworthy where no production was reported from Tesla's Gigafactory in Tesla. That may be a function of them, changing the molds out, maybe starting production of or getting prepped to start production for their lower cost vehicle, or maybe the Robotaxis themselves. And Tesla filed a trademark for Tesla Robotaxi. This thing is coming June 12th. Will be the start of the experiment, and I think that obviously there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be things that need to be solved, but we've been waiting for this moment for years as Tesla investors, and it's finally here. This is very exciting. I think it's going to really impact all of our lives eventually, and I think that the speed of rolling this out is going to surprise a lot of people. And Uber and Lyft, they seem to be cooked. As far as I can tell, if you look at San Francisco, for example, the percentage share that Uber has in rides, that's in the black line. Lyft is in the magenta and Waymo is in the blue line. And you can see the percentage that Waymo, even though Waymo rides are more expensive, they take longer, the percentage share of Waymo rides is increasing with time, whereas Lyft and Uber are falling. Now, imagine when Tesla robotaxis start becoming an option, they're cheaper, faster, and imagine, the how quickly that's going to grow. As I always say, that the Tesla vehicles, they're already on the road. These are capable of becoming robotaxis, and the apps are already on people's phones. They don't even need to be downloaded. The Tesla users use the app almost every day. And so rolling out could be very quickly. And with um, the moves in Bitcoin and Tesla, gold is up, as we mentioned, close to 3,400, and it's at least historically been the case that silver follows after gold, and so gold makes the first move, then silver. We kind of got a taste of that. Gold was up 2% today, silver up 5%. So will this trend hold? That's why investors were asking on the PIF Discord about investing in silver, and that's why I think it's a legitimate question to ask. The correlation seems to be quite strong between gold and silver. And Bitcoin, although not correlated with gold or silver, not yet at least, it did have its highest close ever at the end of May. And so, who knows? This could be laying the groundwork for a very healthy June for Bitcoin. Now, typically, the first half of the month tends to be a bit slower and then picks up towards the second half of the month. But the timeline this year is very out of whack because we had to go through that tariff situation, and that threw the cycle off. So I think you're going to see a breaking of some of the patterns that we saw in previous cycles. That being said, as I mentioned, the liquidity picture does support, I think, additional bullishness, and certainly the MVRVZ score for Bitcoin does as well. And as if I couldn't be more excited, Damascus Stock Exchange is back. For those who don't know, I am originally from Syria, and I cannot wait for eventually to place my first trade on the Damascus Stock Exchange. And with that being said, let us go to questions. My own channel says, Assalamu alaikum, brother, Tesla or Bitdeer? I've got some cash. Check out our rankings and on our watch list page and make a decision. I think that's the best way to go about it. Now look at our conviction scores and upside left and the upside conviction score that we assign for our watch list items. And I think that would be a good way to make a decision. Salamat Rashad. It's always a pleasure having you. Thanks for joining. Hamid says, Salam. Any update for lithium prices? Not really. They've been doing a whole bunch of nothing, lithium has, but we do have some activity that should happen before mid-year, so before the end of this month, regarding the Sayona and Piedmont merger. So we'll see if that ends up being a catalyst for the stock, and perhaps we get some movement on the price of lithium, which would be great. I mean, these companies, I think, are just woefully undervalued and been in the penalty box for a very long time, and it's about time that they catch a break. So we'll see. Musa asked, do you think Tesla will drop more? I don't know, but we could only be so lucky. If it drops more, I think it would be an opportunity to add more, inshallah. With that being said, if you enjoyed this live, do leave a like. I would appreciate that. And become a PIF member if you haven't already. Until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.